very good morning to the students. Hope you are fine. Hope you have made your copies ready for submission. Already you have got the dates of submission, so please get ready with your copies. Cover it, put the nameplate, write your name, class section, and all the incomplete works try to complete before submitting, because your copies will be corrected and then it will be returned back to you. Now today I am going to, and I am telling you, you please complete the first lesson, that is chemical reactions and equation. That lesson also, if you complete, that much is more fun. First lesson. So today I am going to discuss about salts. In my last class, last week, I discussed, or I started the chapter related to acids and bases, and then after that I discussed with you about the pH, concentration of acids. But today I am going to discuss about the salts. What are salts? A salt is formed when an acid reacts with a base. When an acid reacts with a base, it forms a salt. Like acid plus base reacts to form salt plus water. Okay. Now, if the acid is strong and the base is weak, then it forms acidic salt. If the base is strong and acid is weak, then it forms basic salt. And if it is both strong acid and strong base, then it forms generally neutral salt. Now, it is formed like this. HCl, suppose if I take HCl plus NaOH, it forms NaCl plus H2. HCl dissociates HCl minus, NaOH dissociates at Na plus OH minus. This gets combination with this and this gets combination. So it forms Na plus Cl minus plus H plus OH minus. This is the formula. That is it is an ionic compound containing positive ion, that is cation, other than hydrogen ion, and a negative ion anion other than hydroxide ion. So you can see Na plus is a positive ion other than hydrogen ion, Cl ion negative ion or anion other than hydroxide ion. Now if you classify the salts, there are 4 or 5 categories, to be very precise. There are 5 categories of salts. They are normal salt, then acidic salt, basic salt, mixed salt, and double salt. Mixed salt and double salt we will discuss when you go to higher classes. You will study about it. We will discuss about the normal salt. The first is the normal salt. What is normal salt? A normal salt is one which does not contain insoluble or replaceable hydrogen atoms. So, a normal salt is one which does not contain any insoluble or replaceable hydrogen atom, like this HCl plus NaOH giving NaCl plus water. Coming to the acidic salt. Acidic salts are those salts which are found by the partial replacement of hydrogen of an acid. Okay, partial replacement of the replaceable hydrogen of an acid by a metallic or electropositive ion. Like if you take H2SO4 plus NaOH, H2SO4 plus NaOH, then you will see it will form NaHSO4 plus HSO4. Okay, this is formed NaHSO4 plus, or sorry, it will be H2O. Okay, NaHSO4 plus H2O. Okay, if you take basic salt, it is formed by the partial neutralization of a base by an acid. partial neutralization of a base by an acid. This is acidic salt. This is an acidic salt. Okay, like CuOH whole twice plus HCl, then it will form CuOH Cl plus H2. It will form CuOH HCl plus H2. This is called as basic salt. This we call it as basic copper chloride. This we call it as basic copper chloride. Basic copper chloride. Okay. This is copper hydroxide. This is copper hydroxide. So this is the basic salt. This you term it as basic salt. Okay. Now, coming to the acidic salt, and this is sodium hydrogen sulfate. One more, I have not written the name. Sodium hydrogen sulfate. Now, next is double salt and mixed salt. Double salt and mixed salt. Now, what is double salt? If you take the double salt example, I am just giving you, they are found by double salt is found by two simple salt. Like the simplest example is potash iron. Potash iron. Potash iron. That is K2SO4 point Al2SO4 thrice 124 H. This is called potash iron. One more name I am giving, you try to find out the formula. Morse. What is the formula of this? And last one is the mixed salt. Mixed salt contains more than one cation or anion. Like for an example, bleaching powder, CaOCl, calcium oxychloride, calcium oxy, or you can say bleaching. So we discussed about 5 different types of salt: acidic salt, basic salt, then double salt, mixed salt, and normal salt. So now I will come with some important salts and what are their uses. Some important salts and their uses. First one is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride, which you say as common salt. Common salt, that is NaC. So you know, common salt is obtained from the salt, we get it from the sea. Sea water is a major source of sodium chloride. On evaporation, sea water, it gives crude, that is crude means containing impurities like calcium sulfate, sodium sulfate. Now what to do for purification? This crude salt which you get it from the sea is dissolved in water. Why it is dissolved in water? Fresh water or distilled water, to remove the impurities. And then after removing the impurities, hydrochloric gas, HCl gas, is passed to get a saturated solution. This is because of the common ion effect. The sodium ion, Na plus, H plus. So crude oil is dissolved in water to remove the impurities or to remove the insoluble impurities, and then HCl gas is passed to get a saturated solution. Because of the common ion effect, pure sodium chloride is separated. This sodium chloride, it is an important source of various materials like sodium hydroxide, that is caustic soda, baking soda, that is sodium hydroxide, sodium bicarbonate, and washing soda, that is sodium carbonate. Next, which I am going to discuss is caustic soda, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. That is NaOH. Sodium hydroxide. This is also a major component. It is manufactured. How this sodium hydroxide is manufactured? This sodium hydroxide is manufactured by passing electricity or by the process of electrolysis. Passing electricity through an aqueous solution of brine. Brine means NaCl plus water. And this process is known as chloralkali process. The name of the process which is obtained is chloralkali process. Exam it is asked. Name the process by which sodium hydroxide is obtained. So what is the process? Sodium chloride plus water. This you call it as brine solution. On passing electricity. On passing electricity, it is from 2NaOH plus H2 plus Cl2. H2 plus Cl2. Okay. Now, sodium hydroxide is passed through, or sodium hydroxide is formed near cathode. Sodium hydroxide is formed near cathode. Cathode is the negative electrode. And chlorine gas is formed at anode. Chlorine is formed at anode. That is the positive. And H2 is also formed near the cathode. Fine. So the name suggests the chloralkali. Chlor means chlorine and alkali means sodium hydroxide. So in this way this is obtained. Now what are the properties of sodium hydroxide or caustic soda? It is a white crystalline solid which is soluble in water. Sodium hydroxide gives an alkaline solution because base is there NaOH, and it is a very soapy to touch. And one more thing, it absorbs water. It is a deliquescent. The property of a substance to attract water is known as deliquescent. What are its uses? It is used for making soaps and detergents, used in petroleum industry or refinery and in textile industry. So this is the process of obtaining sodium hydroxide. Third process, bleaching, third substance is bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, CaOCl2. It is also called calcium oxychloride. It is also called as calcium oxychloride. How this bleaching powder is formed? It is prepared by passing chlorine gas over slaked lime. Passing chlorine gas, CaOH whole time plus Cl2. This is slaked lime. Slaked lime, it forms CaOCl2 plus H2. This is bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, no, it is used as a disinfectant. It is added to water. It is sprayed during the rainy season to prevent mosquitoes breeding. It is yellowish white powder and having a very pungent smell. Gives the smell of a chlorine. And when it reacts with carbon dioxide, it forms calcium carbonate. And when it reacts with acids, it forms calcium sulfate. So what is the reaction with CaOCl2 plus if it reacts with carbon dioxide, it forms calcium carbonate. Again we are getting back chlorine. And if it reacts with calcium oxide reacting with sulfuric acid H2SO4, we get calcium sulfate plus water plus chlorine. These are the major reaction of bleaching powder. Please students, write all these reactions in your copy. This is very essential topics which are going to. So first we learnt about sodium chloride, then we learnt about bleaching caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide, and now we learnt about bleaching powder. It is used for bleaching of cotton, linen, also in industries. It is used for making chloroform and as a disinfectant. The last topic for the day which I am going to discuss is Plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris, which you call it as POP, P-O-P, POP. The formula is calcium sulfate half H2. Calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Okay, it is called calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Now, it is prepared by heating gypsum salt. What is the formula of gypsum salt? CaSO4.2H2O. The formula of gypsum is CaSO4.2H2O. It is heated at 373 K in a kiln. Now, it is heated in a, the temperature is maintained here. This calcium sulfate, this is gypsum salt, GYP-SU, gypsum. So then you get CaSO4 half H2O plus 3/2 H2O. So this 3/2 H2O factor is here. So when you heat gypsum, this is plaster of Paris. You know plaster of Paris, which is used when we get our hands get broken to do plaster. Now, during the preparation of plaster of Paris, heating should be done very carefully, because if the temperature is even more than 373 K, the whole water, this water will get evaporated and then it will form a dead burnt plaster. So if it is heated, CaSO4 half H2O, if it is heated above 373 K, it just forms calcium sulfate plus half H2O. This is dead burnt plaster. This you call it as dead burnt plaster, which is of no use. My dear. Okay, so these things you should keep in mind. Now, what is the properties? It is used as a white powder, absorbs water. It is used for making toys, fireproofing material, for doing plasters and other things. So today we discussed about various types of salt, like normal salt, acidic salt, basic salt, mixed salt, double salt. That is not so much important, but then also you should remember. And then we studied about the various salts or products are formed from it, like sodium chloride, which is a major source or major used for producing different types. Then we studied about how sodium chloride or hydroxide is formed, that is by the chloralkali process. What is the reaction? Then we saw the formation of bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride, and then we saw the formation of plaster of Paris by heating gypsum salt at a regulated temperature of 373 K. Hope these things, whatever I have taught today for the day, you have understood nicely. Any doubts, you please talk to me. Sometimes you may have difficulty in going through my notes or understanding my. You are free to talk to me and get your doubts clear. Students, you should be now very much sincere towards your studies, because half of the year is already over. Please concentrate, copy the notes in your copy, and when you submit, please complete your work and submit. With this, I am ending the topics today. Have a nice day.